All right, now just quickly going over the answers to the back side. Again, these aren't really overlapping where you have one part of a triangle on top of another, so there's no real advantage to drawing it again. So I'm actually not going to do it. Here they tell me FE is congruent to FD. FE is congruent to FD. Then they tell me CE, right here, is congruent to CD. And they say, is that triangle congruent? Well, I can say that CF is congruent to CF. Do you remember what property that is? That is the reflexive property of congruence. And remember, they will be using these abbreviations on your test, so you will probably see that word and you need to know what it means. So, I have a side, and a side. Here I have a side, side, and side. Side, side, side. First of all, I accept that one backwards and forwards. So, yes, make sure. Does C go with C? Yes. Does E go with D? Yes. Does F go with F? Yes. So, yes, triangles CEF is congruent to triangle CDF. Now, the next problem, so just in case you wanted to get that down, the next problem does have the overlapping triangles. So it is probably a good idea to go ahead and mark them congruent, because when you have these hash marks on here, it's going to get a little confusing. So I have A, M, B, and this is A, notice that's A, L, B. And probably the first thing you want to mark is that the shared side, again, by the reflexive property, is congruent to itself. So let's just mark that off instead of hoping we remember at the end of the problem. So it's the same side, so it has to be congruent. Then they tell us AM is congruent to BL. Then they tell us LAB is congruent to MBA. So the question is, are the two triangles congruent? Well, if I put these down, I think you can see it comes up with a postulate that I do not accept backwards. No, not congruent. So this is not a real postulate. You may see it presented as a postulate, but it's not a real postulate. Side-side angle does not work.